Okay, so I am making a tutorial on how to make a water stained sort of texture for paper. First thing, I'm using Photoshop, and I set my colors uh, to some sort of dark tea stain kind of colors that you would see in that aged paper. Next, I add a new layer and I go through my brushes and I choose one that gives me a splatter like texture. I'm using True Grit's Dead Stubble brush set. Um, they have a sampler brush set for free. I totally recommend it. I super enjoy that company, the True Grit company, and I'll put some links in the description to that website because they're really good. So I put the brush down, and then I switch between my darker color and my lighter color to I'll make a grainy texture. After making that texture, I use a Gaussian blur, and I sort of just mess with the value of like how big it is to see what I want for it. Afterwards, I'll do a fade, and sometimes I'll fuck around with the like mode that it's in. Um, Add another layer, and this time I am going to be rendering clouds. Um, from there, I do another fade, which is Control Alt F, and then Control Shift F is the two filter ones that you should know. But go through and I mess with the opacity and also just the different like overlay kind of things. Filters, there we go, forgot the word for a second. The different filters for that layer, and then I merge them. Adding another layer, and yeah, going back in with a different grainy brush from True Grit, and at this point I'm also adjusting like the values and figuring out what colors I want for that. But I'll go in and I'll do a few different brushes of that and just overlay. You can do this all by hand as well. There are some filter settings in Photoshop that you can get similar results. I just find this way of doing it way faster than using a bunch of different filters. But yeah, so I go back to the layers and I just kind of go through and I like overlay. Overlay is usually the one I go with the most. Go back in, and I'm going in with some white this time. And I'm going to be using soft light for the filter, and then going back in, doing that again, sort of just messing around. You can mess around to kind of get it where you want, but usually we'll do overlay or soft light, merge them. Yeah, and at this point I'm like, let me give you guys an example of the layering that you can do with this. So I have the background paper, and I'm just going to draw like a little dude to show you guys an example, making him very happy, and I'm filling in the body with the black color just so the overlay is going to be more noticeable when I start throwing more filters on top. Alright, going in with white, and I grab a different grit brush, just sort of going over it. This one's like a wood grain texture, but I feel like it usually works pretty well for the worn paper. Even though it's like a wood texture, it's still nice. Yeah, once again, just sort of messing around, doing a linear dodge, and dropping the opacity. And then I accidentally deleted it when I went to make a new layer, but I'm making a new layer, going in with some white speckles, and dropping the opacity a little, and sort of just repeating this. This is the part where I accidentally grabbed the wrong colors, which is normal, 100%. Grab the wrong colors every time. Going back in with the correct color, which is a dark brown. sort of just brushing up the sides to add more grain. Decide that I want a super shade. Look at him, he's burning, I love him. But you can get a lot of interesting sort of fades on your work and different like color saturations. But yeah, going with soft light, you can see like making it visible and invisible. Depending on if you merge it or not, you'll also get different results for like layering. They're not usually huge, but you can still notice them. But anyway, that is how I make like a tea-stained paper look.